On September 5, 2017, when 31-year-old teacher Laura Wallen didn't show up for work, everyone was shocked and concerned, as nothing like that had ever happened before. When her employer contacted her family, they became worried, because Laura had sent her sister Jennifer a strange text message the day before. This was so unlike her, especially since she was 4 months pregnant. The search for Laura was becoming more intense, but there was no trace of her. However, during the investigation, evidence began to surface, leading the police to uncover dark secrets that could help solve the mystery of Laura's disappearance. How did she vanish? What did she write in her text message? And could it be that Laura found herself in a dangerous situation? It was Tuesday, September 5th, 2017, and students at Wild Lake High School in Columbia, Maryland, were eagerly awaiting the start of the new school year. They were especially looking forward to the return of their favorite social studies teacher, 31-year-old Laura Wallen, but she never returned after the summer break. The school's staff were puzzled by her absence. Laura was not someone who missed classes without a valid reason. When the school administration failed to contact her, they decided to notify her family about her absence. They were shocked to learn that her relatives were also looking for her and had already contacted the Montgomery County Police Department. Laura's parents told the police that they were worried about their daughter after she sent her sister Jennifer a strange text message. Officers conducted a welfare check at Laura's home in Maryland, but she was nowhere to be found. Her car, a black 2011 Ford Escape, was also missing from the driveway. A quick inspection of the house revealed no signs of a struggle, no broken windows or forced doors. Laura's parents suggested that the police speak with 33-year-old Tyler Tessier, who had been dating Laura for the past 10 years and was the father of her unborn child. Tyler told the police that he hadn't seen Laura since the previous Sunday. It appeared as though she had vanished without a trace. Laura Elizabeth Wallen was born on February 10, 1986, to Mark and Gwen Wallen. She grew up in Olney, Maryland, with her older sister Jennifer, with whom she had a very close relationship. Laura's greatest passion was helping others, so it was no surprise when she eventually decided to become a teacher. The investigation into Laura's disappearance, which began on September 5, 2017, was led by Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. The chief and his officers joined Laura's family, friends, and students, both current and former, in searching for the missing woman. Sakan Maxwell, one of Laura's former students, organized a community group of more than 20 people to canvass the area in the school district, distributing flyers and informing people about the missing woman. Police began questioning neighbors, asking questions, and monitoring the area between Howard and Montgomery counties. The intense search for Laura was expected to yield results soon. On the evening of Thursday, September 7, 2017, an employee of the Gramercy Gated Complex in Columbia, Maryland, made an interesting discovery. He found Laura's ID and mobile phone in one of the dumpsters at the complex. When police officers arrived at the scene, they also discovered her car, a black 2011 Ford Escape, parked in reverse in one of the complex's parking spaces. What seemed strange was that the complex was located directly across the highway from Wild Lake High School, where Laura worked. The police began to wonder why she had parked there. Investigators split into two teams. One focused on tracing Laura's digital footprint, while the other interviewed her family and boyfriend. Laura's computer and cell phone were searched for information that could help determine her whereabouts. Her car was thoroughly examined for clues, and her financial records and phone conversations were carefully reviewed for any leads. Meanwhile, the police also interviewed Laura's parents and sister. According to her father, Mark, the family had decided to go away for the Labor Day weekend, but Laura planned to spend the time with her boyfriend, Tyler. This was confirmed by her sister, Jennifer, who told the police that Laura believed Tyler was planning to propose to her. Jennifer was questioned about this statement and provided the police with the text messages she and Laura had exchanged over the weekend. In these messages, Laura mentioned to Jennifer that Tyler was planning to take her on a nature trip on Saturday, September 2nd, 2017. Mark also added that Tyler had indeed expressed his intention to marry Laura after learning about her pregnancy. However, Jennifer noted that by Monday morning, September 4, something had changed as Laura sent her a strange text message. She wrote that she was certain the baby wasn't Tyler's, but Antoine's. Jennifer told the officers that this sounded suspicious because Antoine was Laura's ex-boyfriend, whom she hadn't seen in over 2 years. She also mentioned that Laura had spelled Antoine's name incorrectly in the message. When Jennifer tried to call her sister, she got no response. The Wallen family returned home on the evening of Monday, September 4th, and immediately noticed that Laura was missing. However, she had left candles burning and locked her dog inside the house. The family continued to insist that it would be a good idea to question Tyler, as he was the last person to see Laura. Tyler agreed to speak with the police and described how he had spent the weekend with her. He admitted that he had taken Laura to Damascus, Maryland, to show her a plot of land he was interested in purchasing. His reason was that he planned to build a house where they could raise their family together. Tyler told the officers that Laura seemed excited about the idea of raising their child in a rural setting. He explained that they arrived late in the evening and decided to go see the land the next day. But on Sunday, September 3rd, everything changed. According to Tyler, their outing had been going well, but Laura didn't seem as happy as she had been the day before. During their walk around Damascus, the couple had an argument, but Tyler didn't want to give the officers detailed information about the conflict. He said that Laura insisted on going back home. When they finally returned, Laura allegedly told Tyler that she wanted him to return the house keys and leave her alone. Not wanting to upset her further because of her pregnancy, Tyler agreed to leave her alone and told her to cool down. He then told the officers that he and Laura had agreed to meet for breakfast at the Columbia Mall on the morning of Monday, September 4th, to talk things over. However, Laura never showed up. When Tyler went to her house, he saw no signs of her presence. He told the officers that he couldn't get inside the house because he didn't have a key. What Tyler didn't realize was that this statement was already raising suspicions among the officers. During their interviews with Laura's neighbors, one of them mentioned seeing Tyler walking Laura's dog at 2:30 p.m. on Monday, September 4th. This detail struck the officers as suspicious because Tyler had previously told them he couldn't enter Laura's house without a key. They became curious about how he could have been walking the dog when Mark and Jennifer said they found the dog locked in the house. However, the police hadn't shared this information with him yet. Suspicions began to form around Tyler, and the officers requested his phone call records. He gave them permission to search his phone before leaving the first interrogation. Additionally, the police placed a tracking device on Tyler's car to monitor his movements without his knowledge. Over the next week, the police continued searching for Laura, praying for the best outcome but fearing the worst. They also secretly tracked Tyler's movements and discovered that, since the woman's disappearance, he had visited a field in Damascus 10 times. During the investigation, interesting information was also found in Laura and Tyler's bank records. The police discovered a transaction made by Laura's card at a store on the evening of September 2nd. After obtaining surveillance footage, they confirmed that Laura and Tyler were together that evening. According to further records, Tyler's and Laura's phones had been connected to the same cell towers from that Saturday evening. However, by Sunday, Laura's phone suddenly stopped moving. Tyler's phone also revealed that on Sunday evening, he had texted a friend asking for a ride late at night because he needed help with cleaning. However, the friend declined his request. Fingerprint analysis further showed that both Laura's and Tyler's fingerprints were found in her car, as well as on Laura's phone and ID, which were discovered in a trash bin in Columbia. This prompted the police to call Tyler in for further questioning. This time, the officers were armed with new evidence, including Laura's belongings and mobile phone data. When the police questioned Tyler about his movements with Laura's phone, why his fingerprints were on her things, and the mysterious message he sent his friend, his story took a new turn. According to Tyler, Laura had gotten herself into serious trouble. He claimed that she wasn't pregnant with his child, but had instead started an affair with a student, which led to her pregnancy. The police were stunned by this statement, but Tyler continued to testify. He told the officers that he was trying to buy time for Laura to sort out her problems. He said he took her car, ID, and phone and dumped them at a complex to give her an opportunity to escape her problems before her family found out. Tyler admitted that he tried to mislead everyone to help Laura because he cared about her. When the officers tried to get more information from him about her current whereabouts, he denied knowing anything. However, this new story didn't convince the police. Investigators didn't tell Tyler that they had been reviewing other messages found on his phone. These messages painted a different picture of Tyler and Laura's relationship, which intrigued the investigators even more. Suspicions about Tyler began to grow in the minds of the investigators. This prompted them to dig deeper into his life. Text messages on his phone showed that Laura wasn't the only woman in his life. The police found out that Tyler and Laura had a very turbulent relationship over the past 10 years. Mark's comments also led them to this conclusion. He said he was concerned about Tyler and Laura's future together because he always felt something was off about the man. Over the past 10 years of their relationship, Tyler had never spent important days, such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, family trips, or birthdays, with Laura. Mark believed that Tyler never prioritized Laura. He also knew about another woman Tyler was dating. Her name was Christina Wagner, and she was also a teacher. After further investigation, the police managed to track down Christina's and Tyler's friends, which led to the revelation of his double life. The officers found out that Tyler had met Christina in 2012 and was actually living with her while still dating Laura. According to these friends, Tyler and Christina had recently gotten engaged and were planning to get married in 2018. When the police questioned them about Laura, they said that the man had been in a relationship with her for a long time and mentioned that she supposedly stalked him and became unhinged after their breakup a few years ago. From text messages found on Laura's phone, the officers learned that on August 28, 2017, she tried to contact Christina. In the message, Laura stated that she wanted to meet Christina to talk about Tyler. Friends claimed that Christina was outraged by Laura's audacity, discussed it with Tyler, and decided to file a complaint with the police. However, when the police informed them that all three parties would need to appear in court to obtain a restraining order, Tyler refused. The officers also discovered that Christina and Tyler had planned to go shopping for their wedding over Labor Day weekend, but the man claimed he couldn't come because he injured his knee. When the police informed Laura's family about Christina, they shared what they had heard with the officers. According to Mark Wallen, Laura had told them that Christina was stalking Tyler. This new information made the theory that Tyler might be a suspect in Laura's disappearance more plausible. Now the officers needed to break down his defenses. The police summoned Tyler for another interrogation. When they asked him about Christina, he denied all accusations. However, they were able to challenge his statement by uncovering evidence of his double life. Eventually, Tyler admitted to cheating on both women, which led to a fight with Laura. The investigators hoped he would reveal Laura's whereabouts, but he did not, continuing to deny any involvement in her disappearance. Without Tyler's knowledge, they managed to find a link between him and an abandoned field in Damascus. According to his phone records, they found a number linked to a meat processing plant. The plant was located near the area Tyler had visited with Laura. The plant's owner also owned the open field where the couple had been. After speaking with the owner, they discovered that Tyler had worked for him and often helped with game hunting on the property. Further questioning of the owner revealed chilling details. Over Labor Day weekend, Tyler had contacted him and asked if he could access a safe on the property. The safe contained 4 20-gauge rifles with ammunition. The police now suspected that Laura might be dead, but they could not yet charge Tyler. They still needed to find Laura and prove their suspicions. Together with Laura's family, the officers devised a plan that might help trap Tyler in his web of lies. On Monday, September 11, Laura's parents, Mark and Gwen, joined Tyler at a press conference to plead for Laura's safe return. The entire event was orchestrated by both the police and the Wallen family, hoping that Tyler would break down and reveal Laura's whereabouts. Meanwhile, police units with search dogs combed the fields of Damascus near the meat processing plant. During the press conference, Tyler gave a speech appealing for Laura's safe return. He spoke about how she should not be ashamed of anything she might have done wrong. Tyler played the role of a worried boyfriend, unaware that he was the prime suspect in the case. However, the story was about to take a dark and twisted turn. On September 13, 2017, just 2 days after the press conference, Laura Wallen was no longer considered missing. Her body was discovered in a shallow grave in an open field in Damascus. The police followed tire tracks leading to a freshly dug area. In the soil, they found a piece of purple fabric sticking out of the ground. As they began to dig, they uncovered Laura Wallen's body. They were able to match her clothing to the photo Jennifer had received during her last conversation with her sister. It was a tragic end to a desperate search. The tragedy worsened with the loss of Laura's unborn child. The police arrested Tyler that same day, and he once again tried to wriggle out of the situation. He was held in county jail while investigators awaited the autopsy results. They confirmed that Laura had been killed by a gunshot to the back of the head before being buried in the field. When Tyler was informed of this, he spun yet another fabricated story. According to him, he and Laura were at her home on Sunday evening when a group of African-American men broke in and took them hostage at gunpoint. He claimed that the men then drove them to Damascus. After the couple begged for their lives, the men turned their attention to Laura and shot her in the head before forcing Tyler to bury her body in the field. Then they threatened him, saying they would come after him if he revealed their identities or led the police to her body prematurely. The officers did not believe his story and informed Tyler that they knew about his connection to the property owner. Then the man told the police a different version of events. This time he claimed that he and Laura had an argument, and after he pushed her, she fell and hit her head. He assumed that she had died and took her to a field to hide the body. However, after burying her, he thought she might still be alive. Instead of leaving her to die a slow and painful death, he dug up the grave, shot her in the head, and covered his tracks. Tyler claimed that it was an act of mercy killing. He remained in custody without bail at the Montgomery County Detention Center. Laura and her unborn son, baby Reed, were laid to rest in a public cemetery where more than 1,000 people gathered. While family, friends, students, and colleagues paid their last respects to the beloved teacher, the prosecution was preparing a case against Tyler. The case was handled by Montgomery County Prosecutor John McCarthy. Both the prosecution and the investigation team developed a theory about Tyler's double life. They believed he was more than willing to continue living a double life until Laura found out about Christina through a text message. Realizing his luck was running out, Tyler started planning how to get rid of Laura so he could continue his life with Christina. Labor Day weekend turned out to be the perfect opportunity for executing his plan. Not only would Christina be out of town, but Laura's family would be too. That way, no one would question him about Laura's whereabouts until the weekend ended, giving him enough time to come up with a story. He chose that location because he was familiar with the area and knew his friend had the necessary tools for carrying out his plan. Additionally, it was a secluded place where people wouldn't think to look for Laura. Then Tyler came up with a story about Laura's infidelity to mislead her family during the investigation. He left her car and belongings near the school where she taught to create a perfect cover for an alleged escape from potential drama related to her affair. Tyler hoped the plan would work and that by the time anyone found Laura's remains, it would be too late. He didn't realize that he was making careless mistakes and changing his story too often. This led the police to suspect him from the very beginning. Moreover, he underestimated the Wallen family, who had noticed from the start that Tyler's relationship with Laura was strange since he never fully committed to her as a reliable partner would have. The prosecution had already prepared undeniable arguments. However, under Maryland law, Tyler would only be charged with Laura's murder as the death of the unborn child did not fall under the jurisdiction of the county's constitution. This decision was set to be challenged during Tyler's trial in September 2018, but on September 6th, justice for Laura and baby Reed came to an abrupt end. Tyler woke up in prison, was allowed to take a shower, was served breakfast, and was later found by an officer hanging from bed sheets. He decided to end his life, unwilling to face punishment for his actions. According to some reports, Tyler left behind 5 separate letters, all indicating that he had been planning this for a long time. Although Laura's family never received full justice for their daughter and unborn grandson, her mother Gwen said she found some sense of peace in Tyler's cowardly death. She called him a devilish man and feared that her family would have to live in a society where Tyler existed. Now she believed that this chapter was finally over. Gwen and her family were finally able to find some relief, knowing that justice for Laura and baby Reed had been served. This case is one of those senseless tragedies that will surely make many wonder if they are living with a monster. The tragedy is that both Laura and her unborn son lost their lives at the hands of the man with whom she dreamed of spending the rest of her life, all while believing that her dream of a happy family was about to come true. Friends, what do you think about this terrible case? Share your opinions in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.